I'm Melissa Meyers, and I'm the Director of Safe and Supported here in Hamilton County. Well, not here in Hamilton County, over there in Hamilton County. And Safe and Supported is a community collaborative working to end LGBT youth homelessness. We were selected by HUD out of 12 cities, along with Houston, as the 2 cities that are already doing a pretty good job around LGBT youth homelessness. That may come as a surprise. Cincinnati is doing a pretty good job around LGBT youth homelessness. Well, the reason for that is we have Lighthouse Youth Services, which does a terrific job in adoption and foster care, as well as in youth shelter and youth crisis housing and permanent independent living programs to support LGBT youth moving from homelessness to home security. So that's why we were chosen. Now, let me give you a little more history of the project. So we pulled together about 40 community partners, with the main partners being Lighthouse, Strategies to End Homelessness, the Human Rights Campaign, and GLSEN, to create a community plan to address LGBT youth homelessness in Hamilton County. Now, HUD invited us to participate in this demonstration project as a way to inform their best practices and create replicable programs in other cities across the country. HUD has set a goal of ending youth homelessness by 2020, and there are some subpopulations within that that are at particular risk, including LGBT youth. The reason being is that LGBT youth make up about 7% of the youth population, but about 40% of the homeless youth population. So they are way overrepresented among homeless youth. The main reason that LGBT youth lose their home is
booted out by idiots.
Booted out by idiots or family rejection.
Same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, same thing. The second reason why LGBT youth lose their home is because their caregivers are so hostile and abusive that it's easier to be out than to be in. The third reason that LGBT youth lose their housing is that thunder?
No.
Yeah. Wow.
Warm around, beautiful.
Wait a minute, isn't the world supposed to end today?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Hold on tight.
pay attention. So the third reason is youth aging out of foster care. So in the state of Ohio at 18, if you've been in foster care, your support from the state ends. There's a bill in our state house, I think it's 405, I could be wrong about that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That would extend foster care services to age 21. Now that doesn't mean that they stay in foster care. It means that they continue to receive supportive services to help them move to independence. How many 18-year-olds do you know that are capable of living independently and have sustainable employment or an education? Not a lot, right? So there's a lot of stuff contributing to LGBT youth homelessness. Safe and Supported doesn't provide any direct service, but many of our partners do. So Lighthouse has the Shakely Youth Center, which is a shelter for youth 18 to 24, many of whom are LGBT. It provides supportive services, helps youth work on a case plan to work towards independence, including employment and housing, often through Lighthouse Youth Services, group homes, or independent living apartments. But our plan as Safe and Supported is not to provide services so much as to create systems change in our community. So we have some cultural competency training to work with schools, corrections systems, parents, and lots of community organizations to help make them safe, affirming, and welcoming in their interactions with youth. So this is about creating a real cultural shift in Greater Cincinnati, where every young person is safe and supported, but that LGBT youth always have a safe place to land. Now, I want to give you a few numbers about the number of homeless youth that are on our streets in Hamilton County, well, really in the city of Cincinnati, every night. I want you to take a guess though. When you think about youth 13 to 24, how many would you imagine are homeless on the streets every night in Cincinnati?
About 5%?
Well, a number, not a percentage.
325.
300.
About 500 youth every night. And that does not count the youth who are in shelter, the youth who are couch surfing. These are youth that are in homeless camps, on the street, not getting support and services. And if you imagine that 40% of them are LGBT youth, that means that there are about 200 LGBT youth who are on the street on any given night. So that's a lot. So what happens when young people are on the street?
What's the heroin percentage?
I don't know, but I imagine it's pretty high. So youth, when they are on the street, when they're homeless, they have to do certain things to survive. What do you imagine some of those things are? Right, sex for pay. What else? They do drugs as a coping mechanism. What else?
Some might rob people.
Some might be engaged in criminal activity, panhandling, which is often criminalized, but I'm not putting that in the same category. So these youth are particularly vulnerable, especially to human trafficking. And I know our good friends at the the Freedom Center will be telling us more about that. So Safe and Supported, in conjunction with Lighthouse Youth Services, has some key initiatives coming up that you can help us with, actually. One is the Host Home program. So an LGBT youth between the ages of 18 and 24 who is homeless, instead of going into the Shapley Center, emergency shelter, or one of our other shelters in our city, they would be placed in a family home that is welcoming and affirming, maybe for the first time in a long time, if ever, that they have been affirmed based on their identity, where that family can provide emotional support while that individual is working on their case plan of working towards employment, working towards independent living. They can learn things like how to do laundry, how to cook a lasagna, how to go grocery shopping, all of those things that we take for granted that these young people have often never learned to do, at least not in a way that they can be independent. Coupled with our host home, and the way that you can help me with that is by considering being a host home family and perhaps contacting me to sign up for a focus group to talk about what that program would look like from a parent or home perspective. Coupled with the host home program is our Family Acceptance Project, which is a training program to work with case managers to help them evaluate and identify LGBT youth who are at risk of homelessness based on the family's response to their identity, provide a cooling off space perhaps with the host home program, but could also provide some counseling and support to that family to help them kind of become comfortable and accepting of that young person. I mentioned the cultural competency training that we plan to do throughout many systems in Hamilton County, and then we're also working on a resource guide as well. We've also recently created an Android app that is still under development but is close to being released that will connect youth directly to services including housing, where to find a bathroom, Wi-Fi, and food, shelter, as well as support services for that young person. So we have a lot going on at Safe and Supported. We would love to have your support and energy working with us.
Yes, I understand that my whole life is just a blink of an eye. The history of the earth is with each moment that goes by. But this moment that I'm with you, it feels like time has stood still. It feels somehow like it matters, and that it always Thank you so much.